Halo semuanya, kembali lagi bersama My School YouTube channel. Dan pada kesempatan kali ini kita kedatangan tamu spesial dari Amerika Serikat. Beliau adalah CEO dari Founders Life. Hi Mr. Nick.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Doing great today. Pleasure to be here.
Nice to be. Okay. So I heard that you come from America, and where is exactly which city where you come from?
Yes. I am from Seattle, Washington, which is in America. And if you think about the United States, it's when you're looking at the map, it's the really upper left corner, right? Yeah, and Microsoft is from there. I'm seeing a poster of Bill Gates right here. So Microsoft, Amazon was created there. Starbucks was created in Seattle, and now Founders Live. So yes.
You are the CEO of a Founders Life, is it? What exactly is the company is about?
Yeah. Founders Live is a global real ecosystem and community for entrepreneurship and founders that we really connect people into the community. We bring them information and education around entrepreneurship. Thirdly, we really aggregate or bring together resources like the products, technologies, services to build and grow your company, and then also access to capital. So growth is either investment or other things. Make sure that we at least help startups and founders access those things. And then lastly, global exposure. So we have pitch competitions that happen in almost 100 cities around the world. And we just had Bang last night, which was great and beautiful, just amazing. It's a celebration of entrepreneurship. And our pitch competitions really highlight 5 founders of startups, and they pitch their business. Only 99 seconds. So it's a timed experience. Then there's questions from the audience that's watching, to ask more questions. And at the end, the crowd votes on a winner. And so that there's a winner that comes out of it. And we're in 100 cities, almost 100 cities, 30 countries. So it's every continent. Actually, we're not in Australia yet, but we'll get there. So it's a global thing.
Okay. So the Founders Life work, is it held when you have the meetings with all of this startup CEO? Is it online or you're going to each countries where they?
Well, interestingly, before the pandemic, a lot of it was in person or offline. And with the pandemic happening, a lot of the things that we did went to virtual and online. Now that we're getting out of it, it's kind of like half and half. But our pitch events they're really gatherings in person. Again, last night, there was almost 100 people there, and that's what it's supposed to be. So, the pitch competitions and events are meant to be in person mostly, but we have things that are also online because we want to have a global, community and a digital ecosystem. At the same time, things happen in cities. For instance, like Madrid, Spain, London, Buenos Aires, Argentina, Bogota, Colombia, New York City, Seattle, Palembang, Indonesia, Jakarta, Fukuoka, Japan. We're in all those cities. So those things happen in person so the community can be built, but they're also, some of them are live streamed, put them online and all that. So, yeah.
And also we have this concept of entrepreneurship in school. So what do you think of the importance of entrepreneurship for the students?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. So we just came from a class and young children. That was so special, and it's really great to feel the energy and the curiosity. Yeah, so they were great and excited. And I think the importance is at an as early age as possible to understand possibility is there, and like, possibility of creating new things or solving problems. And honestly, and it could be in any country, when we educate our children, it's not the best to just tell them to follow, hey, we're going to tell you what to do and you need to follow the rules and do this. Right. And what if we helped our children understand to think creatively, to see problems and challenges in the world, and bring solutions? And to me, I think the importance is at an early age as possible to teach them that there's a way of life and a way to live and actually look at problems in the world, bring solutions to them, but also build business around that. And in the end, that will change your city and it'll change your country.
Okay.
And thinking the mindset of like leadership, the mindset of creative entrepreneurship. One of the girls in there said art, and you take art, and you take entrepreneurship, and you combine them, and beautiful things. I'm looking at a poster of Steve Jobs. He took art, and he took technology, and he took business, and that's why we have iPhones and Apple. So that's how important it is.
Okay. So we've come from meetings with the students before. So what is your impressions from the students that you have met before?
They're great. And they're just, again, the excitement, the curiosity, I was very impressed with their English. Their English was, that seems like the first language almost, So their English was better than most of Indonesians I'm meeting around here, but they were very good. And I thought that was amazing. So I'm very impressed with their already at that age, they're viewing things this way, and they're, they were excited to see me. So that was fun. And so that my impression was great. And I think it's tremendous. I'm not coming here from America expecting and telling people to speak English, but I think when you look at globally, the English language is the language of business, and it's important to be able to communicate, because it's not just communicating with me from America. It's, if you're communicating with someone from Japan, you're probably going to speak English.
Because basically it's a global language.
Global language.
So before in America, I assume that you have met some of the students from the other schools in America. Do you see any difference between the students there and then the students here?
If there's a difference, and I'm not a teacher by any means, but the thing with America is that there is, for better for worse, there's a lot of the expectations, like the testing. So there's the yearly testing that they then measure certain school districts on, and then students, and where are they ranking on all this stuff. There's a lot of that process, which unfortunately starts to box in what is actually being taught and what the student's experience is. And that's United States for you right there. They need to know, okay, what's the ranking? What's their national ranking or the state ranking of this school and this district, and how are the students performing? And the problem is the students end up getting a not great learning experience.
Because
it really is not the best learning experience. So what I'm noticing here, or what I would hope, is that if you can empower them to, at an early age, to take ownership of their learning experience, and be creative and explore, and they're you're pushing them in the right way, but not too hard, and you're not boxing them into these things. Just, hey, you need to perform on this test so we can move you along to the next grade or whatever. I think that's the most beneficial thing is to help students know that at the earliest stages possible, you need to take ownership of your own learning. You can't be told. I don't want to be told to learn and know
Just
this,
like
that, and the
the
other.
conventional schools.
Because what happens when you graduate, when you get in the real world, your learning is your responsibility. And I think the best lesson for a student is to understand your learning is a lifelong learning, and it's your responsibility to actually explore your learning. And so if you can do that, I think that they're going to go a long way.
From what you have seen from our students, do you have any suggestion that we need to improve for our students?
Yeah. I would suggest to, have that balance between, books like this or, whatever, like textbook, like actual. It's important that we still maintain a reading of a physical book. Like I try to read physical books whenever I can, but I travel a lot, so I'm reading on Kindle. But balance the traditional, okay, here's a textbook, with there is everything that you need to learn is online somewhere. So helping them understand how to find the information that they need to find at the time, so how do they navigate, the web? How do they find information? YouTube in the right way. YouTube is the world's knowledge, basically. So watch these videos, learn. I would say as soon as they can understand, podcasts are basically lectures, but they're enjoyable lectures. Okay. So listen to information. I think so, helping them understand how technology can really improve their learning, but be healthy technology usage. My concern of the youth is that
The technology is
the device is never going to leave their face, or they're going to, there is the reality of like tech addiction of either the smartphone or social media. So that's probably educators' challenge or opportunity, is to really help youth understand how to best use technology and how to moderate technology usage, right? So how do we use it for our learning capability, and then make sure that we're not plugged in all the time.
Okay, so the importance of the technology is also matters for the students.
Like I couldn't imagine. I'm just curious of what it would be like to be like a 5-year-old right now, like someone that is born into this world and did not know a smartphone. Someone that doesn't know this connected world. I think it would be really an amazing situation. So at that age, they have everything they need in their, like literally everything. The world's information is right there.
In the phone.
In the phone. That's crazy to think about. But your job as educators is to have them understand how to use it in the best way possible, but like not get addicted to it or not have it be a negative situation in their life. And then lastly, I think, again, you have books sitting right here. The value of reading, the value of whether it's reading for education or reading for, like pleasure and being a well-read person, is probably something that should never leave us. Well.
Thank you Mr. Nick for today. Dan terima kasih kepada para pemirsa yang telah menyaksikan podcast kita hari ini. Jangan lupa subscribe, like YouTube channel kita, dan see you again next time. Bye-bye.